It's a typical night. You get home from work, you have dinner with your family, you watch your primetime shows as a family together, and the kids go off to bed. You and your spouse, whoever they are, doesn't really matter. You and your spouse are in bed watching The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. Johnny's guest tonight, let's say, is Ava Gabor and Jack Benny, and his monologue is the best it's been this week. It comes at 11:30 at night, and the comedy sketches that he does on his show this particular night is the best you've seen the whole day, relieving you of all that stress that you've been bottling in. And then after the Tonight Show, you see the American flag, it plays the national anthem, and then the TV goes off to static, and then you go to bed. That was the typical primetime evening for families back in the 60s, 50s, through up to the mid early 2000s. But then after the mid early 2000s, we got into the 2010s. And we started to see the shift in family time go from being with our families to each family member doing their own separate thing and losing family connection. But why do I bring this up? I partly blame social media. I don't blame all of social media. Social media does keep families together. Let's say if, you know, a married couple had children together, 3 children, let's say. They got divorced because it just wasn't going well. And let's say the father moves to Seattle and the mother stays in Pennsylvania. And so the father stays in touch with his kids through social media or through FaceTime, or the mother and the kids visit the father in Seattle for the holidays or whatever. They stay in touch through social media. That's great. That's how social media should be used. But how is it used really? At one time, there were no cell phones allowed at the dinner table because cell phones weren't a thing then. But even if they were, they wouldn't be allowed at the dinner table. But now, if you just go out to a restaurant, you sit down, you order your food, what's the conversation you're having at the table? Everyone's on their cell phone. We've lost that we have a disconnection between the people we know and love, whether that be friends or family. Because we're so addicted to social media and so addicted to our cell phones that it's an addiction worse than cocaine or alcohol. Why do I bring this up? Because society's changing in a way that is disconcerting. I remember when I was a kid. This had to be 2000, 2001. I was either 6 or 7 years old. I vividly remember this. East Stroudsburg University used to have a penny festival, or penny carnival, something like that. But you would bring a chunk of pennies or whatever, with you to this event at ESU, and it would help. It was basically a charity fundraiser, but the amount of, I think, pennies you collected while doing it, you got a prize at the end, but those amount of pennies that you collected at the end, the amount was written down, and each amount that was written down, that college, ESU, would donate to the specific charity. It was a community thing. A lot of people came out. Your neighbors came out. You got to meet your neighbors again for, let's say, the 5th time during the day. I remember my great grandmother always having the coffee pot on, always having Entenmann's cake, always having neighbors come over, and just bullshit the breeze for a couple hours or so. Today, you don't have that anymore. People don't have company anymore. In fact, the sheer idea of company terrifies people. It's sad. But the reason why I want to make a video about this is because time is short. Time is so short that tomorrow's not a promise for any of us. So do yourselves a favor, maybe for a week or so, get off social media. Start spending time with the people you know and love. Start hanging out with friends who haven't hung out in a long time. Because these special connections we made prior to being addicted to social media and our cell phones, there's stuff that could fade away. And we shouldn't want that. We should want to cherish them, not watch them dissipate. Anyway, wanted to do a little video on that. Live long and prosper. See you next time.